Yo, it's your boy Smoke about the Madden video, and in today's video, we're going to be doing a Tennessee Titans rebuild with Cam Ward. Now, Cam Ward is not selected by the Tennessee Titans, but he is projected to be the first overall pick. Titans could be picking a dual Carter, but in most mock drafts, it has been Cam Ward going first overall to the Tennessee Titans. So let's go to try and rebuild the Titans if they were to have Cam Ward. Now, I got him from a rookie class from the Madden files, the online files, so obviously it's just up to their discretion, but normally rookies are around the overall of 75 through 80 if they're a higher pick, so Cam Ward will probably be this in the game if we're being honest. Found the same overall. Now, if you guys are curious who the Tennessee Titans are going to pick, I recommend checking out our most recent video where Jay, the other guy on the channel, he made a simulation of who the best fit would be because he did a Madden simulation. Let's go ahead and check how Cam Ward did in his first season, though. So first season, we just added Cam Ward, and we finished 5-12 and did not make playoffs, obviously. Cameron Ward had 3,912 passing yards, 31 passing touchdowns with 16 interceptions, a 61 completion percentage. Not the greatest rookie year. He had a rating of 90 flat. And he was sacked 24 times. His longest throw was 51 yards. Tony Pollard, 727 rushing yards, 7 rushing touchdowns, only 1 fumble. Cam Ward on the ground was able to get 439 rushing yards, 4 rushing touchdowns, and 0 fumbles. And Tajay Spears, he had 63 attempts for 189 yards, and he had 3 rushing touchdowns. He did have a fumble on the season as well. Then receiving, it's going to be Darius Slayton with 76 receptions, 1,064 yards, 3 receiving touchdowns. That is one of the guys I did pick up from the last offseason, but I think that was about the only guy. Nick Westbrook, Akide, he had 912 yards with 16 receiving touchdowns and 66 receptions. Let's go check the defensive side of the ball. Jerome Baker, 123 tackles, leading the team. Jeffrey Simmons with 15 tackles for loss. Sacks is going to be Jeffrey Simmons with 21 sacks. Then there's kind of a big drop-off with Sebastian Joseph-Day, only having 5. Leading in interceptions is going to be Amari Hooker, then Xavier Woods, and L'Jarius Sneed, all with 4 interceptions on the team. Now, this is who we signed in free agency. We didn't lose anybody important, so I didn't show anybody that we lost. But we're going to be signing Rachaad White, 81 overall running back, who's only 27 years old. Brandon Mann, the punter, because we do need a punter. Jalen Watson, a 78 overall, and a 27-year-old quarterback. And Calvin Austin and Tyler Higbee. Not any big signings there, besides Rachaad White, I guess, but we mainly just got some role players. There wasn't anybody too exciting available in free agency quite this year. And let's go ahead and check out who we drafted. Now, this is auto-generated, obviously, since nobody can really predict 2 years from now who will be drafted and where they'll go. So it's auto-generated. Anyway, we got an auto-generated wide receiver named Max Goody. I believe that's how you'd pronounce his name, but he's an 84 overall. Then we got Leonard Baltega, I believe is how you pronounce that. 72 overall right guard. Quentin Archer, and we got a running back, a right outside linebacker, left tackle, and a free safety. But Max Goody, an 84 overall coming right after the draft. That's an insane stat. All right, now we're going to be trading Tony Pollard since we did just draft a running back. So we're going to be trading Tony Pollard, a 2nd round and a 5th round pick for Malcolm Kuntz and Tony Adams. Malcolm Kuntz is pretty underrated, I believe. Tony Adams, he's not too bad. I feel this will help out our defense because we definitely do need a lot of help on the defensive side of the ball. And we might be losing L'Jarius Sneed soon, since I believe his contract's only got 1 or 2 more years left on it. But anyway, the next season we go up to an 84 overall, 88 offense, and 84 defense. But our record is only 7-10, so we do not make playoffs again. Not too shocking, as we are going to have a couple seasons to make playoffs because the Titans are not a strong suited team. Cameron Ward in his 2nd year seems to be performing better already. 3,824 yards, 29 passing touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Nothing crazy, but I think that's a little bit better than his rookie year. But again, definitely could still be improving. Tajay Spears is going to be our leading rusher with 503 rushing yards and 5 rushing touchdowns, 2 fumbles. Then Cam Ward is going to have 401 rushing yards with no fumbles and 3 rushing touchdowns. Rachaad White, 210 yards. And then Calvin Ridley is going to be our leading receiver with 988 yards off of 71 receptions. Raheem Shahi is going to have 78 receptions with 915 yards. Max Goody is going to have 758 yards off of 66 receptions with 3 receiving touchdowns. Tajay Spears is going to have 27 receptions with 203 yards and 1 receiving touchdown. Defensive side of the ball, Jerome Baker is going to be our leading tackler again. Then Xavier Woods and L'Jarius Sneed, Earl Barnell, and then there's going to be Jeffrey Simmons in the tackles for loss. The sacks is going to be Jeffrey Simmons with 10. And then the interceptions is going to be L'Jarius Sneed with 7 for the team, so that's very helpful. And then Jerome Baker's going to have 2. These are the people we're going to be losing in free agency. Tajay Spears, an 84 overall. It's going to be rough losing him. Chadwick Awuzie, Will Levis. Will Levis is the backup now, so that's not going to affect us too much. Dan Moore, Jake Gibbons. I don't want to really lose Dan Moore or Jake Gibbons, but we do have a lot of free agency room, and we will be making some big signings soon. Not quite yet, though, as we're going to sign Rashad Bateman, 86 overall, 27 years old, and then we're going to sign Sean Murphy Bunting. There wasn't anybody massive in this free agency class, but I know next year there definitely will be. Wide receiver help, I feel like that's definitely going to help Cam Ward out a lot. And, I mean, obviously we're going to need cornerback help because Sean Murphy Bunting, he's a pretty solid player, and we just need help on defense in general. We are going to need a linebacker at some point, though, to replace Jake Gibbons. Anyway, we make playoffs for the first time, so we're an 84 overall, 88 defense, 84 overall, 88 offense, and an 81 defense. But anyway, we make playoffs with a 12-5 record. Looks like Cameron Ward led the league in passing yards because he had 4,866 passing yards. That is pretty crazy. Cameron Ward is finally starting to find his stride. 41 passing touchdowns and 11 interceptions. That's an amazing year for Cam Ward. He had 11 interceptions and a 73 completion percentage. He was sacked 29 times, a passer rating of 116.8. And the rushing is going to be Cameron Ward with 541 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Rachaad White is going to have 423 rushing yards with 5 rushing touchdowns and 2 fumbles. And then we're going to have Buckner, the rookie we drafted 2 years ago, 289 yards. And he had 8 rushing touchdowns. So a lot of rushing touchdowns for the Tennessee Titans. Raheem Shaheed's going to have 93 receptions for 1,225 yards, 12 receiving touchdowns. Calvin Austin with 1,108 receiving yards off of 66 receptions with 15 receiving touchdowns. Max Goody's going to have 95 receptions with 1,089 yards, 5 receiving touchdowns. Then we're going to have the tight end, Chazwick Akunu. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. I know it's a hard name to pronounce, but 71 receptions and 6 receiving touchdowns. Let's go check the defensive side of the ball now. Jerome Baker is going to be the leading in tackles again. Then Roger McCurney, Tony Adams, Pete Warner's up there. And it's honestly pretty impressive. Tackles for loss now, it's going to be Jeffrey Simmons again with 14. Then T'Vondre Sweat. Then Jerome Baker is going to have 8. The sacks is going to be Jeffrey Simmons again with 13.5 this time. Then T'Vondre Sweat with 7.5. Interceptions is going to be Roger McCreamer. And then Jerome Baker with 2. And L'Jarius Sneed had 2 as well. Let's go see if we made any push in the playoffs. And we kind of did. We made it all the way to the AFC Championship. Somehow, some way, we made it to the AFC Championship. But we lose to the Baltimore Ravens in a pretty embarrassing fashion. As we get shut out, not only shut out, we give up 30 points too. A 30-0 loss in the AFC Championship. At least we were able to make playoffs and go to the AFC Championship, though. Anyway, let's see how we quite lost this game. So Lamar Jackson, 259 passing yards, 2 passing touchdowns. Pretty solid game from Lamar right there. 78 completion percentage. Cameron Ward did not do that great in the AFC Championship with only 79 passing yards. They had Keaton Mitchell with 52 rushing yards and 1 rushing touchdown. Cam Ward with 29 rushing yards. Mark Andrews with 73 yards. Devontae Walker, 46 yards. Zay Flowers with 43. Rashad Bateman, didn't do a whole lot, only got 3 receptions. Roger McCreader is going to have 11 tackles leading in the game. And then tackles for loss is going to be Roger McCreader with 2, and then Jeffrey Simmons with 2. Sacks is going to be Diddley Winslow. And interceptions is going to be Nate Wiggins and Roquan Smith. Both got interceptions. This is who will be leaving us this offseason. L'Jarius Sneed, Jalen Watson, 2 quarterbacks right off the bat, unfortunately. Dan Moore, and then our starting center. So we are losing quite a bit of people, but this is the offseason. We're actually going to be super aggressive and get some people. We're getting Nico Collins, a 93 overall, and he's only 29 years old. He was not interested in coming to the Tennessee Titans at all, but we did throw him a bag, so he is on the team. Cooper Beebe, 86 overall, he's 27 years old. Renandro Green at 85 overall, 27 years old. Elijah Moore to get some help at wide receiver in the depth part or aspect of it. And then shark safety Jaden Hicks. And then we're going to get another running back, even though it seems like we've gotten many running backs. We're going to get Keandre Miller at 81 overall. All right, so the Tennessee Titans, even though they just made the AFC Championship, and I just spent a fat bag in free agency, we don't even make the playoffs. We go 7-10 this time. We are 88 overall, 93 on offense, and an 88 on defense. But we're not like we didn't make playoffs somehow. So we're 7-10 overall, didn't make the playoffs. Our offensive yards, we were 19th in the league, it said. All right, Cameron Ward, let's see how he did. 4,053 passing yards, 32 passing touchdowns, 7 interceptions. So pretty good year from Cameron Ward right here. 64 completion percentage, a rating of 100.4. He was sacked 27 times. For his, I believe this is his 4th year. Yeah, he's doing really good. Then we got Deontez Buckner, 649 rushing yards, 11 rushing touchdowns. Cam Ward is going to have 567 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Then Rachaad White is going to have 70 attempts for 261 yards and 1 rushing touchdown. Max Goody is going to have 980 yards with 6 receiving touchdowns. And then Raheed Shaheed's going to have 781 yards. And I'm wondering where Nico Collins is at. I'm going to go all the way down here. And it looks like he barely played. He must have got an injury. Only 107 downs played. He only had 3 receptions. Very tough to see. Rashad Bateman, we're finally starting to see him a little bit. But he had 718 yards and 6 receiving touchdowns. Quentin Archer, 131 tackles. And then looks like Kitchens got 90. So we're starting to see some auto-generated people on the defense. Zach Spriggs, I remember getting him, I believe, 2 drafts ago. Roger McCreader. And then tackles for loss is going to be Jeffrey Simmons again with 17. Then Tavondre Sweat. Jeffrey Simmons leading in sacks again with 7. Then Tavondre Sweat. It'd be nice to get another pass rush or another solid defensive lineman. But I guess this is the way it keeps going. Anyway, we go to the next year. When it starts to get to the end of the video, I don't really show the free agency if we don't do anything. We didn't lose anybody major, and we didn't sign anybody major. But anyway, we're facing the Buffalo Bills. We made playoffs again. Cameron Ward, this time, 4,622 passing yards, 40 passing touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions. That is unreal stat line from Cameron Ward. He was only sacked 27 times, and he had a passer rating of 120.8. Deontay Buckner, he is going to have 749 rushing yards and 11 rushing touchdowns. Cameron Ward with 521 yards and 5 rushing touchdowns. Nico Collins, there he is, actually playing a full year this time around. 88 receptions, 1,126 receiving yards, 8 receiving touchdowns. Rashad Bateman's going to lead the team with receiving touchdowns with 14. He's going to have 1,100 receiving yards off to 64 receptions. Max Goody's going to have 101 receptions, 1,064 yards, and 6 receiving touchdowns. Quinton Archer is going to lead in tackles again with 99. Tackles for loss is going to not be Jeffrey Simmons. It's going to be Logan. I believe it was Jeffrey Logan. And then Jeffrey Simmons is going to lead in sacks for us again. And then we had Ricardo Green, and then Roger McCreader, and Quentin Archer with the interceptions. And we are first-round exits to the Buffalo Bills, a 25-38 loss, as you see in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. we were the 4th seed, so we actually did pretty solid. But the Buffalo Bills come in and rain on our parade. So Buffalo with the 38, obviously, and we only got 25. Even though we had more offensive yards gained, weren't able to quite come up with this one. And it looks like Josh Allen had an amazing game. Cam Ward, I can't say the same with that 2 interceptions. He did have a lot of passing yards, though. I will give him that, and 3 passing touchdowns is good. But you really can't quite have a good game if you're going to turn over the ball 2 times. Jahmyr Gibbs, 52 yards for the Bills, and if Jahmyr Gibbs went to the Bills, that team would be unstoppable in real life. That would be such a crazy, weird spot to see Jahmyr Gibbs. But anyway, Nico Collins with 116 yards off of 10 receptions and a touchdown in the playoff game. Looks like an auto-generated receiver for the Buffalo Bills. DeMarco Weaver had 8 receptions with 100 yards and a receiving touchdown. Rashad Bateman with 3 receptions, 83 yards, and a receiving touchdown. Defensive side of the ball, Zach Springs is going to be the leading tackler, then Taylor Rapp. Pete Warner with 2 tackles for loss. Jeffrey Simmons had a sack. Interception is going to be Josh Day and Taylor Rapp. This is around the end of the Tennessee Titans rebound. We weren't able to make a Super Bowl appearance, but we did make an AFC Championship appearance. Definitely Cameron Ward in Madden's eyes. He is turning Tennessee Titans around in the right boat. We weren't just able to win a Super Bowl, unfortunately. So around the end of the video, make sure you guys go ahead and leave a like and subscribe if you guys enjoy Madden 25 content, NFL content in general. Highly recommend you guys subscribe and turn those post notifications on. See you guys in the next video. Bye.